The fast bowler who terrorized batsmen worldwide now lives in silent luxury. What Chaminda Vaas did with his $12 million will shock you. Chaminda Vaas stands on the balcony of his luxury home in Colombo, looking out over the city, where he became a national hero, and the view is very different from the one he had as a poor kid growing up in a tiny coastal village. This is the man who took 400 wickets in Test cricket, the left-arm fast bowler who made the best batsman in the world look helpless, the World Cup legend who helped Sri Lanka reach the finals and became one of the most feared bowlers on the planet. But what happened after he hung up his boots is a story nobody talks about. While other cricket stars waste their money on stupid investments and end up broke, Vaas quietly built a $12 million empire that keeps growing even though he retired over a decade ago. No scandals, no bankruptcy, no desperate comeback attempts, just smart choices, luxury living, and a life that most retired athletes can only dream about. This is not about luck or inheritance. This is about a man who understood that cricket. Fame does not last forever, but smart money moves can set you up for life. Chaminda Vaas was born on January 27, 1974 in Matumagala, a small village in southern Sri Lanka where most families struggled to survive. His father worked hard doing whatever jobs he could find, and the family had almost nothing. Young Chaminda did not grow up with cricket coaches or fancy equipment. He learned to bowl by throwing coconuts and rocks at targets, developing that deadly left-arm action on dirt roads and empty beaches. While rich kids in Colombo trained at expensive cricket academies with professional coaches, Vaas built his skills through pure repetition and raw talent. He bowled for hours every single day, not because anyone told him to, but because he loved it and because he saw cricket as his only way out of poverty. That hunger, that desperation to escape a life of struggling, gave him something that wealthy kids with all the advantages could never have. It gave him the mental toughness to keep fighting no matter what. He made his international debut for Sri Lanka in 1994 at just 20 years old, and immediately people noticed something special about his bowling. He was not the fastest bowler in the world, but he was accurate, smart, and deadly with the ball that swung in toward right-handed batsmen. He could bowl long spells without losing his line. He never gave up easy runs, and he had this incredible ability to take wickets exactly when his team needed them most. Over the next 14 years, he became one of the greatest fast bowlers in cricket history. He took 355 wickets in Test cricket, making him one of only a handful of bowlers to ever cross the 300 mark. In one-day international cricket, he grabbed 400 wickets, putting him in the top 10 bowlers of all time in that format. But statistics do not tell the whole story of what made Vaas special. In the 2003 World Cup, Vaas did something that had never been done before and has never been done since. Playing against Bangladesh in the very first match of the tournament, he took a hat trick with the first 3 balls of the match. Think about that. The game had not even started properly, and he had already taken 3 wickets. Bangladesh was 0 for 3 before most fans had even found their seats. He finished that match with 6 wickets, completely destroying the opposition, and announcing to the cricket world that Sri Lanka was serious about winning the tournament. They made it all the way to the finals that year, and even though they lost to Australia, Vaas had established himself as one of the most dangerous bowlers on the planet. Batsmen feared facing him because he had this ability to get wickets out of nowhere, to take catches when nothing seemed to be happening, to break partnerships just when the opposition was building momentum. But here is what separates Vaas from most cricket stars. While he was earning big money from cricket contracts, endorsements, and tournament bonuses, he was not spending it on stupid things. He was not buying 20 cars or throwing huge parties or gambling it away in casinos. He was thinking about what would happen when cricket ended. Because unlike most athletes who think they will play forever, Vaas knew his body would eventually give out. Fast bowling destroys your body. The constant pounding on your knees, the stress on your back, the repetitive strain on your shoulders and elbows. He watched older, fast bowlers struggle with injuries and forced retirements, and he understood that he needed to build something that would last beyond his playing days. So during his cricket career, Vaas started investing in real estate across Colombo and other major Sri Lankan cities. He bought properties when prices were low, rented them out for steady income, and held on to them as values increased over the years. While his teammates were buying luxury cars that lost value the moment they drove them off the lot, Vaas was buying buildings that generated monthly rent checks and appreciated in value. He also invested in businesses, becoming a partner in several successful ventures, including restaurants, sports facilities, and retail operations. These were not flashy investments that made headlines. They were boring, steady businesses that produced reliable profits year after year. By the time he retired from international cricket in 2009, Vaas had already built a foundation that would keep generating income for the rest of his life. His wife, Nishani, has been with him since before he became famous, and she played a huge role in keeping him grounded. Unlike the wives of some cricket stars who push their husbands to spend money on bigger houses and fancier lifestyles, Nishani encouraged smart financial decisions. She managed their household finances carefully, making sure they lived well but not wastefully. Together, they raised 2 children, a son and a daughter, in a home that was comfortable but not ridiculously extravagant. Vaas made sure his kids understood the value of money and hard work, not wanting them to become spoiled rich kids who think money grows on trees. He told them stories about his childhood poverty, about learning to bowl with coconuts, about the sacrifices his parents made so he could pursue cricket. Those lessons shaped his children into grounded, hard-working people, despite growing up wealthy. When Vaas finally retired from international cricket at age 35, many people expected him to fade into obscurity like so many retired athletes do. Instead, he immediately transitioned into coaching and cricket administration, staying relevant in the sport while building his wealth even further. He became a bowling coach for the Sri Lankan national team, passing his knowledge to the next generation of fast bowlers. He worked with Sri Lankan players in various domestic leagues and franchise tournaments around the world. These coaching positions paid well, but more importantly, they kept him connected to the cricket world and maintained his status as a respected figure in the sport. He also took on roles with cricket boards and committees, giving him influence over the direction of Sri Lankan cricket and opening doors for business opportunities. But the real money came from his business investments continuing to grow. His real estate portfolio expanded significantly after retirement because now he had time to focus on property deals full-time instead of squeezing them in between cricket matches. He bought commercial properties in prime Colombo locations, residential buildings in developing areas that would boom in the coming years, and land outside the city that would eventually be sold to developers for massive profits. Each property generated rental income while also appreciating in value, creating a double benefit that multiplied his wealth year after year. His business partnerships also flourished as he leveraged his fame and cricket connections to attract investors and customers to his ventures. By 2025, financial experts estimate Vaas's net worth at around $12 million, an incredible amount for a retired cricketer from Sri Lanka, where most athletes end up struggling financially after their careers end. But Vaas is not just sitting on that money. He lives in a beautiful luxury home in Colombo with his family, a property that reflects his success but is not ostentatious or showy. The house has everything a wealthy family could want: spacious rooms, modern amenities, beautiful gardens, and privacy from the public eye. But it is not some ridiculous mansion with 50 rooms that nobody uses. Vaas bought a home that his family actually lives in and enjoys, not a trophy property meant to impress people he does not care about. He drives luxury vehicles, but again, nothing crazy. A nice car that is comfortable and reliable, not a fleet of supercars that sit in a garage collecting dust. He wears quality clothes, but you will not see him covered in designer logos trying to prove his wealth to strangers. He takes his family on nice vacations to beautiful destinations around the world, but these are meaningful trips where they spend time together and create memories, not Instagram photo ops designed to make other people jealous. This is what mature wealth looks like. It is not about showing off. It is about actually enjoying the life you built without needing constant validation from others. Vaas also gives back to his community in significant ways. He runs cricket coaching programs for underprivileged kids across Sri Lanka, providing equipment and training to children who cannot afford proper coaching, just like he could not afford it as a kid. He funds scholarships for talented young cricketers who need financial support to pursue the sport seriously. He contributes to community development projects in his home village of Matumagala, helping improve infrastructure and creating opportunities for people still struggling there. These charitable activities are done quietly without big announcements or publicity campaigns. Vaas does not need to advertise his generosity because he is not doing it for recognition. He is doing it because he remembers where he came from and wants to help others who are in the same situation he was decades ago. His relationship with the Sri Lankan Cricket Board has had some rocky moments over the years. Like many former players, Vaas has been critical of how the board manages the national team and develops young talent. He has spoken out about corruption and mismanagement, which has sometimes put him at odds with cricket officials. But his criticism comes from a place of genuine concern for Sri Lankan cricket, not bitterness or jealousy. He wants to see the next generation succeed and believes the system needs reforms to make that happen. This willingness to speak uncomfortable truths, even when it makes him unpopular with cricket administrators, shows his integrity and commitment to the sport that gave him everything. In 2024 and 25, Vaas has been working as a bowling consultant for various international teams and franchise leagues, traveling the world and earning excellent money while doing something he loves. He helps fast bowlers from different countries improve their technique, develop new skills, and extend their careers. His expertise is in high demand because he understands fast bowling from every angle. The physical mechanics, the mental approach, the tactical thinking required to outsmart batsmen. Young bowlers respect him because he achieved greatness himself and can teach them things they cannot learn from coaches who never played at the highest level. This consulting work keeps him engaged with cricket while giving him the flexibility to spend time with his family and manage his business interests. What makes the Chaminda Vaas story so compelling is how different it is from most athlete stories. We constantly hear about sports stars who earn millions and then lose everything through bad investments, gambling, divorces, or just stupid spending. We see retired athletes doing embarrassing commercials or desperate comeback attempts because they need money. We watch former champions struggle with depression and purposelessness after their careers end because they never built an identity beyond their sport. Vaas avoided all of those traps. He understood that his value came from more than just his ability to bowl fast. He built businesses, invested wisely, maintained strong family relationships, and created a life beyond cricket while he was still playing cricket. His success also challenges the stereotype that athletes are dumb and bad with money. Vaas never went to business school or studied finance formally, but he had the intelligence and discipline to seek good advice, learn from mistakes, and make smart decisions with his earnings. He surrounded himself with competent financial advisors and business partners who helped him grow his wealth. But he also stayed involved and educated himself about his investments instead of blindly trusting others with his money. This combination of humility to ask for help and diligence to stay informed protected him from the scams and bad deals that destroy so many athletes financially. At 51 years old now, Vaas has everything most people dream about: financial security that will last multiple generations, a loving family that respects and supports him, a legacy in cricket that can never be taken away, respect from the cricket community worldwide, business interests that keep growing, and most importantly, peace of mind knowing he made the right choices and built something lasting. He does not need to prove anything to anyone anymore. He already proved it by taking 400 wickets and becoming a World Cup legend. Now he is proving it again by living well, giving back, and showing young athletes the right way to handle success. Subscribe now to discover more stories of athletes who actually got rich and stayed rich by making smart choices instead of stupid mistakes.